This episode is brought to you by Bleacher Report. How do you follow sports? From college football to the NBA, Bleacher Report brings you the latest news, live scores, and epic highlights from your favorite leagues, teams, and athletes, all in one app. Dive into exclusive shows hosted by your favorite athletes and original Bleacher Report series with breaking news, rumors, and predictions all season long. Download Bleacher Report to personalize your coverage.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Light Sparring to the Death would be the name of it. Hello, I'm your host, Les Bubka. Welcome to Anxious Black Belt, a podcast that focuses on karate, mental health, and everything in between. If you enjoy our content and would like to support us, best way to do that is to listen to another episode, share with your friends, and leave us a review. All this stuff helps the mysterious algorithm to introduce our podcast to new audience. Thank you for joining me, and let's listen to the episode. Wow, it's another year gone. It's that time of the year when we're going into a Q&A. Thank you for all your questions. I'm going to be recording this in a couple of installments, so the sound might be a little bit different, but I'm going to try to answer in depth all of the questions that you guys sent me. There's quite a few of them. So possibly it's going to be 2 episodes, but let's see what I can come out with. And the first one is from Sarah. Sarah is asking what is the most important element to focus on when doing home training. And there's no one really thing to focus on in home training. It depends what home training you do. If you mean just general fitness or strength, or it's in relation to karate. I think this one is going to be in relation to karate. You just have to assess what your current needs. So maybe it will be a focusing on kata if you think that you want to improve your aesthetics and techniques and coordination and so on, then you can focus really deep into the kata, and you get the benefits of a cardio workout if you're gonna do them fast. Technical aspects if you focus on the trajectory of strikes, kicks, and so on. Coordination if you want to work on like a complicated kata, and as well the awareness of our mental attitude towards the opponent that you can use within the kata. The mindset is a key ingredient of doing kata, and being in that state of awareness and alertness, performing the kata as you do it with a partner. Sometimes it will be maybe focus on a physical aspect of karate, so push-ups, sit-ups, squats. If maybe you don't have time to go to the gym and do the physical preparation and physical conditioning, then you would focus on that at home with maybe a lot of kicks and stuff like that to just bring that cardio and conditioning up. Maybe you will work on the combinations like shadow boxing or punch bag if you've got the equipment at home, focusing on the flow of combinations so they can be more useful in a sparring and playing with concepts, setting up your strategy for fight and playing it out as a visualization. So it's a very broad spectrum of training you can do. It depends what you want to work on. As well, the visualization is a very useful tool to get yourself ready, for example, competitions, grading, or something like that. Um, the more focus you put on it, the better outcomes you get in all of those areas. You need to be able to assess what currently you're lacking or what you would like to improve, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and what would work for you the best, and focus on that area, but don't stay only on one that thing that you're gonna do katas all the time, because then you're gonna have a plateau, and it's nice to change and do something else and work on all of those areas. Question number 2 from Sylvia. Sylvia is asking what the Naihanchi name translates. Nobody knows. The simple answer is that was a short one. Uh, we don't know. Motobu says that the kata came from China, but it's not anymore practiced in there. And then it found way to karate, to Okinawa, and it become one of the most used kata in a martial art systems of Okinawa. Then moved to Japan, and the name was changed as well. There's few names used for this kata, so there's Naihanchi and Naifanchi, spelled with the F. That's from Uchinaguchi language, so all Okinawan language, which is somewhat different to Japanese. And there are attempts by people to translate it from the katakana, because we don't have a kanji written down, so we don't know the original calligraphy used for this kata. And people attempt from katakana to decipher the name. Some suggesting it's a iron horse knight, or a internal conflict, three internal conflicts, and as well some saying that inverted steps. So there's many ideas. Gishin Funakoshi, after moving to Japan, started to change the name to Teki, so Iron Horse, because the stance in it resembles the horse riding position. Although if you look on some positioning of some masters, there must have been very thin horse. But the history of the name is hidden for us. We don't know. We haven't found. Well, I didn't found, but historians haven't found the original um, kanji for it. So it is very difficult to find the original meaning of the name, and its history, when it comes from, and so on. And I think we will never know. So, whatever people like to use it, it might be a horse riding, iron knight, iron horse, or internal battles. I don't know which one I prefer the best. I just simply use Naihanchi, and I really like that kata. And I hope we're gonna find some information about it. It will be very interesting to learn the history of this kata and its original name, but it's not needed for training. Question number 3. This one is kind of extracted from one of the comments from Michiel, who spotted on a photo me smiling and said, "What happened to Les? What have you done with him?" Because he's smiling on a photo. So, as most of you people know, I'm coming from Poland, so we've got a very specific way of smiling. Although I am capable of lifting the corners of my lips to somewhat resembling smile, but though this stuff makes me really tired, and I can only pull it off for a few seconds. Hence, that's why you don't see me very often smiling. But if I am forced to, I do can smile. although it always looks in my eyes like I'm grinning in pain. Therefore, I don't really like doing it. And as well as those who read my book Anxious Black Belt know my history, know that I lost my teeth very early in my life, about 16-year-old. So the smiling become unnatural because I had to wait for a long time for a fixed teeth, and yeah, it become a habit of not smiling, so people don't take a mickey out of me, and I don't feel embarrassed about it. And I think that stayed with me. Although looking at all my Polish fellow citizens and friends, smiling in our country is a little bit odd, and for us internally, we are very happy, but externally it's not showing. I think it's maybe because of years of communism or a cold weather, because being in Sweden and Finland, it seems to be that the cold countries just don't do smiling. Maybe it's the waste of energy needed for survival. So, answering the Michael questions, don't worry, Michael, I'm still here. Sometimes there's go those bursts of smiling. I'm safe, I'm okay, I'm still here. And I'm looking forward to catching up in the future. So, worry not, you won't be so lucky to get rid of me and being replaced with somebody who can smile. Question number 4. This one is from Tom. What is your vision for your Karate for Mental Health CIC long term? If it would be widely successful and exceed all your expectation, what that would look like? Yeah, good question. So, my vision for a Karate for Mental Health is to build up the resources to be able to provide seminars, workshops, and regular classes for people with from disadvantaged backgrounds, and we are kind of on track with that, waiting for funding at the moment. If it were be widely successful, my dream is to have a community center. We had that in Poland, so I would like to do it here in UK, without the financial restrictions, that we could have a several rooms inside, so dojo with wooden floor, matted area, gym, maybe trampolining or something like that for a kids to come in and do a gymnastics or something like that. Language rooms, and different activity rooms, all being kind of accessible to everybody, and creating a community hub that people can come in and do whatever activities they need, have a support groups, not only for martial arts, but whatever they culturally need or want. So languages, maybe mathematics, martial arts, art, dancing, whatever. So like a huge unit that we got a different rooms for different activities. And this is kind of based on my experience from childhood. We had a house of culture, when we had a cinema, a ballet room, language center, and stuff like that. And kids like myself who've been kind of from a poorer side of the equation could come in and do activities for free or for minimal pay or fee. So this would be something that really would over exceed expectations. I tried setting up things like that in UK, because in Poland we've got a running project with my wrestling coach, that they've got a derelict building refurbished. They paying only for a electricity and a minimal rent, and kids can come and do martial arts, wrestling, karate, Muay Thai, and so on and so on. So I tried that here in UK. Unfortunately, my council didn't see that that would be possible at the time. So maybe in the future it will be. But yeah, if I had a limitless amount of money, that's what I would do. Classes, traveling around, teaching, promoting a karate for mental health. Question number 5. See, imagine you had a huge budget to make a karate themed film. What would the storyline be, and which actors or martial artists would play the main characters? All right, so that's gonna be a tricky one. So because I would like to do two movies. So one, I would like to make a Anxious Black Belt adaptation of my book and kind of a story of the anxious boy getting into martial arts, going through the competitions, events, and stuff like that, and building that confidence. And based on my physical appearance, I would love Daniel Craig to play it. Would be nice to have a James Bond playing myself, and I think that would be a cool movie. Probably would have to be more dramatic and over exaggerated compared to my book and my life. But maybe Netflix gonna be interested in the future to do that adaptation of the my little book. The other movie that I would like to really make is kind of homage to the kind of 80s, the most favorite 80s, 90s, most favorite part of the cinema for me, the Van Damme movies, kind of B movies, so Kickboxer, Bloodsport, Quest, and so on, where you can see the comparison of the different martial arts, but with the old-fashioned set of cameras, so not all the new ones that the camera chasing and jumping and shaking. This caused me a headache, but I would like to have um, that kind of old, that you can see the whole scene from one angle and you can see that, choreography going in and being done as it should be instead of hiding it behind the shaking of the camera. So some sort of secret tournament where all the different masters coming in and fighting and trying to prove themselves. Who would I be willing to put in to the cast? That's difficult because there's quite a few. So probably the Scott Atkins, because I really like him in a Undisputed as Boyka. Statham, I like Jason Statham. Kind of, I'm not on board with the new movies, so I don't know who are the new martial artists getting roles nowadays. But I haven't watched any martial movies recently. But if you can bring like Van Damme and people like that to be kind of in a role of the coaches, like one of the main things in the martial art movie is the training period when people going in and getting better and they try to improve themselves before the tournament or their mission. So kind of cheesy kind of 80s homage and tribute to those classic movies where with full packed of action, mostly martial arts, kicking in a tournament setting, not so much outside of it, no romance and stuff like that, just purely fighting and showcasing different martial arts. I know that nowadays it's kind of MMA everywhere, but it would be nice to have that traditional, maybe a guy from MMA as well fighting against the other systems, not necessarily realistically, but showcasing the beauty of the other arts. Yeah, that would be my movie. So Anxious Black Belt and some sort of a quest or match to the death, maybe light sparring to the death would be the name of it. That would be the movies I would make. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support. And if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best until the next one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.